In a world dominated by 24-hour news, endless social media feeds, and a constant flood of information, it feels like the value of context is slipping through our fingers. Everything moves so fast that we rarely have the time to pause and think about what we are taking in. Over a century ago, the poet William Henry Davies wrote, "What is this life if, full of care, we have no time to stand and stare?" Those words ring even truer today as we struggle to make sense of a world that often feels too loud and overwhelming to truly understand. This unrelenting stream of information creates an environment that leaves little room for the kind of deep-thinking philosophers like Socrates valued. Socrates believed that life is only worth living if we take the time to examine it, yet we seem to have forgotten how to stop and reflect. Instead, we're caught up in what Jean Baudrillard described as hyperreality, a dizzying world of signs, images, and narratives that blur the line between what's real and what isn't. As Freud argued, our unconscious minds tend to store unresolved thoughts and emotions. Without moments of calm and reflection, we end up absorbing fragments of information without understanding or questioning them. These gaps in understanding can lead us to create our own narratives, stories that fill in the blanks, often shaped more by our fears and desires than by reality. Lacan's idea of the mirror stage sheds light on this. Just as a child forms their sense of self by identifying with an image, we often build beliefs based on the fragments of media and opinions around us, whether or not they hold true. This creates a deeper problem, the shame of not knowing. In a time when knowledge seems like it's just a click away, admitting ignorance feels like failure. Rather than face that discomfort, many people fill the gap with their own truths, clinging to them for a sense of certainty. Nietzsche warned about this in his critique of herd morality, where people follow unexamined beliefs to avoid confronting their doubts. Unfortunately, these personal truths, unchecked and unchallenged, can solidify into rigid dogmas that divide rather than unite. Critical thinking, the skill of questioning, evaluating, and making sense of information, has become a rare and endangered art. Without taking the time to pause, we risk losing our ability to think deeply and independently. Heidegger might call this inauthentic being, where we go along with the crowd instead of engaging in genuine self-reflection. To reclaim our ability to think critically, we must slow down, make space for context, and take a closer look at the relationship between the information we consume, the stories we believe, and the selves we construct. But there is hope in embracing something often seen as a flaw, not knowing. Admitting that we do not have all the answers is not a weakness. It's a gateway to growth. Socrates taught that wisdom begins with the recognition of our own ignorance. By accepting what we don't know, we allow ourselves to learn and grow with genuine curiosity rather than trying to protect an illusion of certainty. Letting go of the need to know everything can ease the anxiety that comes with trying to piece together an identity from incomplete or distorted information. Lacan's concept of lack reminds us that human desire is driven not by completeness, but by the gaps in our understanding. When we embrace those gaps, we open ourselves to richer, more meaningful experiences and ideas. Not knowing invites wonder. As Aristotle said, wonder is the beginning of philosophy. In this state of openness, we can approach the world with a sense of curiosity, ready to question and explore. This mindset also makes us more resilient and adaptable, helping us navigate the complexities and uncertainties of an ever-changing world. Finally, embracing not knowing can foster empathy. When we accept that our own understanding is limited, we're better able to appreciate other people's perspectives and experiences. This humility encourages us to listen, learn, and connect, rather than judge or divide. In this way, acknowledging the unknown doesn't just benefit us as individuals, It strengthens our collective ability to grow, collaborate, and pursue wisdom together. True understanding, after all, is not found in pretending to know everything, but in the shared journey of seeking the truth.